back here at NSUSpartans.com, our weekly coaches show with interim head coach Brandon Duvall. It's homecoming week. As you can see, the court is not set up because the Spartans will be playing over at Gill's Gymnasium on Wednesday against James Madison. And coach, you know, it's a midweek game, but it's also an important game for you guys, not just on the court, but off the court, and for you personally, because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Night. And, you know, you can talk about the experience that you've had, that you know somebody close to you that, you know, has gone through that.
My family's had different people in my family have had cancer. My mom's had breast cancer, so this is actually a very important night. As long as I've been coaching, we've always tried to involve ourselves with some sort of program that contributes towards cancer awareness, breast cancer, things like that. My mom actually had breast cancer and throat cancer, so it's kind of a big deal in my family. So we're honored to be able to host something like that here at Norfolk State, and it should be a tradition that we can be able to grow year after year. So I'm excited about it.
You know, you guys are gonna be wearing the pink T-shirts. You're gonna be raising money. You know, all that stuff. But talk about what it was like for you personally. You know, there's a lot of people out there who maybe haven't known anyone that's had to go through cancer. You know, and I'm one of them too. I'm thankful that no one in my family's ever had cancer like that. But just talk about what it's like for you. You know, to have a relative, especially someone that close like your mom, to go through that. You know, what are the emotions that go through you during something like that?
It was a very challenging part of my life. You know, I was just into college when she first was diagnosed with it. She elected to go with the mastectomy instead of going through chemotherapy. So something where they felt like it was a quick fix. She recovered great, and then of course the throat cancer came, and that was just an extended year after year after year. Cancer. I mean, everybody. You saying that you're one of the lucky ones, but for the most part, everybody's been affected by somebody with cancer, very close, whether it's in their family, a close friend, and it's growing every single year. So it's something that it's great to be able to raise awareness to, raise money for, and hopefully in the long run, as long as we continue to do things like this, they'll find a cure for it. It's obviously everybody has something to do with it. So every school across the country that I know of, and friends of other programs, that they're all doing something like this. They all do what's called Dick Pink, or Kill for the Cure, or various versions of what we're trying to do here, and it benefits cancer awareness. And hopefully I won't have to go through it again, but it is a tough thing, and people who've been through it understand, and this is why something like this is so important.
Yeah, and it's not just breast cancer too. It's, you know, there's all kinds of different cancers out there. Breast cancer gets the most attention, but there's so much more that just affects people. You know, from prostate cancer to lung cancer, everything like that. So it's important not to raise money just for not just breast cancer, but, you know, cancer awareness overall, that it does affect thousands of people every year. So
absolutely.
We'll go on a different note here, and we'll talk about. We haven't talked about this much. Actually, I don't think we've talked about it at all yet this year. But the academic side of what these kids do. You know, they're on the court. You know, you spend a lot of time practicing and everything like that. You gotta get ready and all the trips. But you know, we forget that they still gotta get all the grades. You know, if it wasn't for their grades, you won't be out there on the court even playing. And one player that really has stood out is Jasmine Frazier. She's a junior. You know, this is her second semester here after she was at Winston-Salem State for 3 semesters. And you know, she carries a 3.94 GPA. She's a finance major, and she's going to get into the honors college. I mean, just talk about what, you know, having her on the team, how she's kind of like a role model for the other student athletes, especially the freshmen coming in here. You know, even we talk about them, you know, getting on the court. It was a whole new experience for them, but it's also a whole new experience just going to class and doing that part of their college life. What has it been like to have Jasmine kind of as a role model for them?
Jasmine has been a godsend, I can tell you that. She came into the program. Obviously, you know, we've been following her. We recruited her before she transferred in. She was somebody we had on our list a long time ago because we knew what she could bring to the table, not only on the court but off the court. What she definitely brings, along with Nicole and Tracy, is the upperclassmen leadership that we've been begging for so many years. When I first got here, we had Yolanda and Blue were great seniors, but we've always been bottom heavy. And now we're starting to see where, now that we're retaining athletes and, you know, people are growing through the program, you know, next year we're going to have all 3 of them back, Nicole, Jasmine, and Tracy, and that just gives us we're a little bit deeper in the upperclassmen. Jasmine, being a stellar student athlete, and we tell the girls, you know, you're here to be students first, and if you know, the student part becomes a problem, we can help you with that. We'll just have to reduce the volleyball part, and that's unfortunate because obviously we want to be successful on the court, but we have to be successful off the court, and Jasmine is a tremendous role model for that. The girls look up to her. She's able to do it all. She's able to have fun, be a college student, get the grades that she needs, and be a stellar athlete on the floor. And everybody should look up to her, and I'm proud to have her on our team.
Well, let's head down and hear more from Jasmine, who's also known someone who's suffered from breast cancer. Well, now we're here with Jasmine, and Jasmine, tomorrow night, Wednesday night, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Night, and you knew somebody who suffered through breast cancer and unfortunately died from it. It wasn't a relative, but you said it was your mom, one of your mom's close friends, and somebody who you knew. Just talk about what it's like to know somebody who's going through that and just the process there.
She was a great person, and unfortunately she didn't make it, but it's great that we're having a game to raise awareness so people do know and are aware that this is something that happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be, like you said, it's got to be good that schools do this. You're going to be wearing the pink t-shirts tomorrow. It's got to be something that's, people at this point know about breast cancer, but it's good to kind of keep it in the forefront of people's minds, I guess you could say, by doing stuff like this.
Yes, it helps. A lot of women do overlook it, so it's something that we should be aware of and just keep in mind.
Yeah, exactly. And you can talk about a little bit too. We'll switch over a little bit now to academics, and you're a 3.94 GPA in finance. You're a candidate to get into the honors college. You're most likely, for some odd reason you don't, it would be kind of a travesty there, but you're going to be going, in the honors college. And talk about what it's like just having to balance all that academic stuff, especially in a finance major, which to me would be a difficult major. But talk about balancing all the academic stuff with, you're having to, competing on the volleyball team.
It's very challenging coming in and putting in your max effort on the court and in the classroom. Something that you got to learn how to do. Time management. It's all about it. Finance is a difficult major, but I get through it and I seem to perform just fine.
Is it kind of one of those things where you spend, you got a 5-hour bus ride, you're doing all your homework on the bus ride?
Yep,
and,
just studying every bus ride. Whenever we get free time at the schools, we study. We're doing online tests and getting prepared for midterms and finals, and just never in the process.
Does that make it difficult when you have to miss classes, or maybe even sometimes you're a midweek match, you might miss an important test? Does that make it a lot more difficult because you're almost behind on the people who can make it to class and make it to the test every day?
It does make it a little bit more difficult, but we're all student athletes, so we understand that student comes first, and then we have to be able to perform on the court. But we get through it, and we talk to the teachers. They understand where we're coming from, most of them, and just maintain the high grades.
Maintain the high grades and maintain the high intensity on the court. Jasmine Frazier. Back up here with Brandon, and Brandon, the team is now 3-1 in the MEAC. You're not James Madison tomorrow, Wednesday, is not a MEAC match, obviously.
Right.
You got North Carolina A&T on Friday, and you got North Carolina Central on Sunday. Central doesn't actually count towards that MEAC record either, but they'll be in there. They'll be in the MEAC next year.
Right.
But just talk about, you've won 4 wins in a row now. You still got 3 more matches at home. Talk about what kind of, I guess you could say, the role that you guys gotten on, and how much better your play has just gotten the past few matches here.
They have matured over the last couple of matches, like overnight, it seems like. And we talked about this before, but you look at stats on individuals, people are stepping up left and right. Paige had a great match the last time. Alec had a great match the time before. Charlotte before that. So we're getting contributions from people at the right time. And the best thing about the match Wednesday against James Madison is it is a non-conference match, and it is an extremely difficult opponent for us. So for us to be able to go through this home stretch, bring in somebody like James Madison to test us again. Not that A&T or anybody else hasn't tested us, but we need to make sure our standards are high. And we bring in a quality group like James Madison University to play against. That just keeps us motivated throughout the rest of our conference play. And then with, I guess it's kind of a benefit that right now Central's not in the conference, or it doesn't count against the conference. So that's another way we can test some things, maybe get some people to emerge, maybe tweak the lineup a little bit if we need to, because it doesn't count against us in the conference. And if we're lucky enough to get a win against them as well, then we just keep rolling, rolling.
Yeah, as I say, the past 4 matches, your airs have been way down. The attack airs, which was killing you for a long time.
No
there.
kidding.
30 some airs, if you guys had 30, 35 airs in a match, there's a whole set of points there you just gave away to the team. Well, you guys have been under 20 the last 4 matches, which is something you almost had never done earlier in the season, and you guys have been just playing spectacular. The defense is, the
as usual.
backcourt defense has been great as usual.
Yeah.
So, and then talk about, this will be your 4th match in a row at home. You said the next 2 this weekend, Friday and Sunday, are also going to be at home. Talk about how you can get off, I don't want to say get off on a good foot, but how you can keep the momentum going because you're at home. Because after that, you're on the road for about 5 of the last 6 matches, so it's going to be tough.
I think it's a benefit that we're going to be in Gills this week as well, because I think we have A&T right after James Madison. It's going to be good to be in Gills because that's almost like being on the road for us. We're not in that gym. The fact that tomorrow night or Wednesday against James Madison, the fact that it's going to be such a hostile crowd and it's going to be in our favor, it's going to be great. Plus, James Madison's a very well-respected team in this state of Virginia, and I personally like James Madison. I've done their camps, love their coaches. I think they're great. They do a great job. And one of their players, or one of their right side hitters, played for me in Junior Olympics, so very familiar with their program. And I think tomorrow night is going to be extremely special because it's a small gym. I mean, we've been starting to get the fan support that we need to put that group of fans inside a gym like Gills. It's going to be pretty hostile. So the fact that we get to play in Gills the next couple times and then we hit the road again, I just think we're well prepared. I think we try not to make excuses for ourselves. I think we've gotten past some of the hurdles that we had problems with earlier in the year. Lineup changes, mentalities towards competition, things like that. I think now the girls are prepared. I mean, I wouldn't say we're peaking. I'd like to say we're peaking in the MEAC championships, but I think right now we're playing very good volleyball, and the girls understand what we expect from them, and they're delivering. And as long as we continue to do that, we're just going to continue to push forward and progress. It's good.
It does feel like the team has turned the corner. The past 4 matches kind of has shown it, especially against beat South Carolina State and Cookman, who finished the bug in the standings last year, and it was 3-0 wins. Granted, they weren't easy wins. It wasn't, it was like 3-0 make me go.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
3-0, 3-0. So
like I said, you got James Madison coming in now. They're 16-5. They're a good team up there in the CAA, so it's going to be a challenge for you. But like you said, the 120 some fans usually average every game. You pack that into Gills, it doesn't hold very many people. Full house right there. So as we stated, the Spartans will be playing against James Madison over in Gills Wednesday at 6 p.m. and then they also host North Carolina A&T at Gills at 6 p.m. on Friday as well. Of course, we got homecoming on Saturday, football game out there, so don't forget to go to that. But then Sunday, back here in Echoes, we got 3 p.m. against North Carolina Central, and that'll wrap up their homestand for them. That's the second to last match. You'll get to see the Spartans play at home this year, so come on out and support your Spartans. And as always, for everything on all your information on NSU athletics and NSU volleyball, visit nsuspartans.com.